BFF. Do you hear about Neanderthals? There's this new Neanderthal. Well, he's not new. They discovered this Neanderthal they're calling Tina. They don't know if the boy was if she were a boy or a girl, but they're calling her Tina. Tina had Down syndrome, they're finding out. And what's crazy about that is that Down syndrome gives you severe vertigo if you have this, and deafness and other extreme symptoms of Down syndrome. Now, that wouldn't be such a big deal knowing that some animals get Down syndrome. I mean, after all, chromosomes are chromosomes, am I right? But what they determined, because this little Neanderthal made it between 6 and 10 years of age, that they've determined that Neanderthals would have to be truly altruistic and compassionate in order to raise this child, because a mother by herself wouldn't have been able to tend her child and raise that child to be sick between 6 and 10 years old. So what we found, other people in her troop, I don't know, Neanderthals had like small groups. They would live in like little, just like 15 Neanderthals. They weren't like humans, who wanted to live in these big herds. Humans were kind of more like herd animals. There's so many of them. But Neanderthals would be like small knit groups. They'd live really isolated away from each other, which is another reason why they were so easy to kill for the other humans, for Homo sapiens. Anyway, it turns out that Neanderthals had compassion for one another. They weren't just calculated, kind of like, well, if I get something, it wasn't something that was completely self-serving, which is something that you might think would be, more animal-like, more non-human animal-like. Now, of course, we've seen in various other species signs of altruism or signs of compassion towards each other or towards members of other species. We've seen this. You saw everyone's seen like the parrot feeding the dog, or the crow who's friends with the dog, and it always seems to revolving around dogs, because humans we're all crazy about that particular slave animal. But Neanderthals seem to have been truly altruistic and truly compassionate for each other, even if the offspring probably wasn't the other ones. You know what I mean? They were more like human beings as we know them today than we previously thought. It's a brand new revelation. It just came out. I was listening to it on the news and the radio yesterday, and I was blown away by it. I'm going, wait a second, what? First of all, I didn't think Neanderthals got Down syndrome. I don't know why. I thought that was kind of more of a modern thing, but apparently it isn't. But the other thing is that these guys really would sacrifice their own, because, living in the ancient world, we're talking 100,000 years ago, they're having to deal with some pretty hard things, and they're able to care for little Tina, and she gets up to be like 6 years old. That's huge. 6 years this little troop was caring for little Tina, and they probably cried when she died, and they buried her because Neanderthals did that. It's amazing. It's amazing to me. I don't know. I keep on thinking how human beings that I run into think that we're so supreme, that we're so great, that we've got something going for us that no one else has got going for us. But it turns out it's not the case. We do not have anything going for us that the other ones. We just have maybe something that makes more sense to us. It's a little bit more apparent to us because we're able to see it. Because after all, it's our brand of compassion that we're looking for. It's our brand of altruism for which we're investigating, and it's completely biased. We always find quote unquote human qualities in animals, but to this extent, I don't know. It kind of puts me in this actually makes me kind of sad that I can't meet a Neanderthal. I'll never be able to meet a Neanderthal. Wouldn't it be cool to try to meet one? Anyway, maybe they'd take care of you if you had Down syndrome. Maybe they'd treat you all right. I think so. Neanderthals seem pretty cool. I think they're pretty cool. Well, there you go. That's a fun story I found on the internet. I hope you think it's cool. Oh, I found it on the radio, actually. The old school. I had to go searching for it on the internet and read more about it before I told you about it. See if I had anything interesting to say about. I hope you liked it. My name's Skyjack Morgan, and this is Vegan, of course. It's a channel for vegans. Holy shit! Type in Neanderthals how a carnivore diet may have led to their demise on Google. Yeah, so there's certain things where they think that maybe inbreeding and carnivore diet is might have been what killed them. Usually, inbreeding alone won't kill an entire species out, but they think that the fact that human beings like to kill them, the fact that they ate a animal diet, all these things probably contributed to the Neanderthal meeting their end. Yeah, it's true. It's true. What up? The carny scum? Yeah, they're carny scum. You like them though? Yeah. Well, I like that they're gone, bro. Like you can like them. After all, who knows what they had going on when it came to Neanderthals had to make it through the ice age. So the fact that they were living off of animals were probably that's probably all that was around. There probably wasn't much vegetation, and they probably weren't very good at like planning ahead and farming. Human beings are really good at that. Our ability to eat vegetables is really our saving grace. We can digest a lot of vegetables, and we're not supposed to be eating so many animals. It's